Hello friends, it's Nancy, and I am back to work on the Great Pumpkin. So I inked around the edges and I sealed it, and now I am ready to start. Well, first I want to put this fabric on. My wish is to have it just a little raggedy. So I'm just pulling a few threads off. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. 6 more sleeps until the Great Crafty Crush Summit. We're meeting on Sunday, the 5th. Okay, now so I'm going to glue down some fabric, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. And I want it to be super thin. So I'm going to use this is a silicone makeup applicator. The reason I want it super thin is because the glue can show through, and I do not want that. It's a little off center, and that's because I wanted this to show the full title and this swirly thing. You know, the swirly thing, of course. I had a viewer who was super sad that I cut up this book yesterday because she's a huge fan. And I just want to reassure everyone that even though this was a first edition, there is literally thousands and thousands and thousands to be had. So do not worry that I have destroyed a one-of-a-kind book, because it is definitely not. And it wasn't in really great shape. I mean, the next person who bought it was probably going to read it once or twice and throw it out. At least this way, the story is being preserved, and it's going to be in excellent condition and enjoyed, hopefully, for years. Oh, I need you. Okay. Now, I need the curved spine. I didn't want it super rounded, so it's just a nice little bend. I'm going to pull this fabric up and glue that down after I put the spine in. I should have thought of that. Nothing too exciting this weekend. The weather has been unhelpful, but we're supposed to have a cooler week, so that's wonderful because I am perishable in heat. So I want to make sure I get this centered more or less. So I'm just holding it in place. Pressing it against the spot. So, sorry, I just moved it up so you could see what I'm doing. I've got the rolling pin underneath. I'm just pressing. Not bad. Okay. I think I'm gonna let it just sort of dry a bit. Trying to figure out a place to put it. Not very many places. Okay. I haven't found a place yet. Let me pause while I figure this out. Okay, so I'm starting to put the pages together. I've decided to go with 6 signatures, so I will keep the pages in order. So the first signature will have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, I removed pages 1 and 2. So how I attach them is to line them up I better move it up so you can see what I'm doing. Line them up on my cutting mat here with a line. Okay. And glue, washi tape, and I need more glue. Oh, it's in the other room. Hang on. So far you've done a lot of hanging on. I'm just running a bead right next to that line. And I'm going to roughly tear a piece the right length. And I'm going to reinforce it with some glue stick, because washi tape isn't meant to be permanent. trying to get it on there relatively straight. Whoops. Got carried away. And once this dries, this is going to be enough. Okay. I started gluing some pom-pom trim on here. And I just want to show you, in order to keep the pom-pom trim from unraveling, I used a little bit of art glitter glue where I was going to cut, waited till it was dry, and then cut. Then I tacked it down with a little bit of glue, and now I'm going to stitch it with some black thread. Let me pause while I sew. Okay, got that sewed down. Oh my goodness, I'm yawning already. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. Okay. So, there we go. I did marry together some sheets of scrapbook paper with the Halloween theme. So that's going to be one of my inner pages. And I think I'm going to do a total of 2 for each one. Sorry, that didn't make any sense at all. I'm going to do 2 more pages. So right now I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to have 3 folios. Okay. I do want to add some fun stuff to the edge, but I'm not going to add lace because that's just a little bit too feminine and doesn't really match sort of this whole Peanuts cartoonish theme. I do like the pom-poms because it sort of has a retro feel. I do have more of that green pom-pom, so I'm sure I will use some more. But I think I'll also use some fabric. So, without further ado, so I want to make sure I'm putting the right ones together. You knew it was getting close to Halloween when the Great Pumpkin was going to be on TV. Now you don't have to hardly walk into a store and you already know Halloween's coming because there's just so much stuff now. Not like when we were kids. I'm starting to sound like a curmudgeon. I was at Winners the other day. So Canadian folks, you'll know what Winners is. It's sort of like it. I think it is affiliated with TJ Maxx. But it's like TJ Maxx, so they take old stock from higher end stores and sell it at a discount. And there was so much Halloween stuff there the other day. I feel like this one slipped an itty bitty. You'll notice that I did put pencil page numbers on there so that I don't get confused. Poor Charlie Brown, all he got was a rock. And then oh, it's like, where did it go? Hopefully that'll keep things in order. Don't move. Even good old Snoopy's doghouse is orange in this book. I'll never understand what the whole World War I flying ace thing is about. Like, as kids, I guess we just accepted it. That's part of the story, but like, how would Snoopy know about Red Baron? Weird. Just weird. Okay, so ooh, I have this strip of fabric. And this white strip doesn't look like it's gonna mind having a little bit of you've seen me do this technique lots of times where I just use glue glue stick to make a little bend in the fabric, and then I will sew over it. Okay, let me sew this. That took less than a minute. Okay. It's not going to be on the front page of that signature. I did them backwards. The pages are in order, but instead of grabbing the first page of that signature, I grabbed this one. That's okay. Okay. Come on. Anyway, I was telling you last time about a book I was reading, The Rose Code. And it's about this group of women who worked at Bletchley Park during World War II. And it was actually based on some real people. The person who played, the person who was represented by Beth is sort of an amalgam of many people. But some of the things that happened in the book for sure did happen. And at the end, oh, I know, they mention other, names like, Prince Philip and other actual people who were alive at the time. And one of them, it was Kate Middleton's grandmother. So that was interesting. She wasn't a big figure in the book, but I thought it was interesting anyway. Anyway, it was big book, well over 500 pages. Very good. I enjoyed it. I started 2 books since I finished that one and didn't get very far in either one. The second one, it's also historical, takes place at the turn of the century, and it reads like a history report. Like, there's no real character development. It's just the characters talking weird to each other in order to explain historical facts as they were happening. Not really explaining, how they felt, or their decisions, or their, tensions about, what should I do kind of thing. It's just, anyway, so that one I'm also going to toss. I can't be bothered reading bad books. There's so many good ones out there to read. And generally, unless it's something that is recommended to me, generally I will pick up books at thrift stores or yard sales. I think that Rose Code I got from a yard sale. What can we do with Snoopy? Maybe I can make a tab. And sew some buttons on there. Grab some buttons. So if I folded this in half, sometimes it's hard to get a good orange, but this one is kind of a brownish orange and it seems to match Snoopy's doghouse here. Okay. Need to stitch some. Ooh, I have some of this green. Maybe I'll stick with black. Gotta put this on my list. I need black embroidery thread. Gosh, these are some long needles. Oh, here's one. Here's one that should do. Ooh, I just got another idea. Now, strictly speaking, I don't have to sew these down. I just think it improves the look of the finished project if you do take the time to do some stitching. So the purpose of my stitching isn't necessarily to make sure that it's down solid, it's just to be decorative. I don't know what this stuff is, some kind of ribbon, I guess. Got it at the thrift store. I like the pattern, the black and white gingham, and the fact that it's a tiny check. It's really good for lots of purposes, like making tabs on tags. Okay, now here's what I was thinking. I have no lids on any of my glue. Okay. I have some little paper leaves somewhere. Let's see if I can find them. Well, they're made by Prima. I know I took them out. What I was thinking was I would put this here, but overlap like have a couple of little leaves peeping out. I thought that might look cool. I know they're here. I'm going to find them. Okay. So I think we're past due to stop for today. Just know that in the meantime, I'm going to look for those paper leaves. I'm going to glue them down, and then I'm going to glue this over top. And this will be a tab like that. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for joining me today. Come back again and we'll be doing some more work on the Peanuts gang. Take care.